Name and surname. No.
Axel Leijonhufvud.
Area of expertise.
Monetary economics, I suppose.
Okay.
Macro.
What is your idea of perfect happiness?
Getting the thing I'm working on done.
Okay. What is the trait you most deplore in yourself?
proposto di fare insieme una cosa che è interessante, perché loro lavorano molto su queste statistiche dinamiche che sono
Inability to concentrate on what I should be doing.
e all'Istat c'erano molte persone che ci
And
lavorano.
what do you consider the most overrated people
Of what? Of economists?
in general?
Sto facendo summer school di data giornalismo.
Sì, insieme alla fondazione.
I like virtues in general.
And
Allora, rimaniamo così che
what do
andando
you
in un po'
most
di materia,
value in
intanto
your
riprendo,
friends?
c'era qui
Loyalty, of course.
Okay, what is the most important skills to be a good
Questi sono
economist?
dei flyer. Questo è per
Judgment.
un modo carino per spiegare dove siamo.
What would you say today to encourage a young student to study economics or history of
Abbiamo
economics?
delle presentazioni stampate su opportunità.
That most countries are in deep economic trouble, and if you want to do something of social value, economics would be important.
What is your economist of reference?
The one I like the most, or when I was young, John Hicks.
What is the paper or book you wish you had written but not yet?
The one I'm working on.
Of course. What is your country of origin?
I came from Sweden, but I've been 50 years in the US. Well, a lot of time in Italy.
And what are the two main economic problems of your country? Up to you now to choose between Sweden, US, and Italy. Whatever you consider yourself.
Actually, the main problems of the US and Italy is getting political cooperation on a reasonable plan of action. So, kind of political stalemate. I don't know whether you should call the Italian situation a stalemate, because it's a very volatile stalemate. Whereas the American one is a stalemate in the usual sense. But rather than the strictly economic problems, there are problems of economic policy and of regulation.
Okay, and which policy would you provide as a first step to solve some of these issues?
Well, when you're in the wake of a financial crisis or a collapse that you manage to stop halfway, the underlying cause of the crisis is that we have made, as it were, an inconsistent set of promises. They can't all be fulfilled. And if you insist that they be fulfilled, you'll find that they're interdependent, so that one failure triggers an avalanche of other failures. When you stop it, you have this problem of deciding, since not all contracts can be fulfilled, which one should you insist should be fulfilled? Which debtors do you let go free? Who should pay for somebody else's debt? And so on. For example, should the taxpayers pay for defaults, so to keep the banks going? And those are politically sometimes almost impossible questions. So that's what we're dealing with now, and what we are mostly doing is you try to evade dealing with the underlying question. I'm saying if we pump in enough liquidity, you postpone everything, but you sometimes you solve things. You give people time to recoup, but basically you're not tackling the underlying problem.
Thank you. We haven't finished. Just thank you for this answer. It was very interesting. So, what would be your face if Italy exited the EU?
Well, I was a boy during World War II, and I grew up with a sort of the creation of the European Union and so on, as a Swede from that. But if that enterprise failed, it would be, for me, a tremendous tragedy.
What would be your face if Germany accepted 3.5% inflation rate one day?
I don't know whether that is important. In the present situation, we don't even know how to inflate. If we could get sort of an underlying settlement on who is going to pay their debt and who is not, we wouldn't need to inflate. When you're in an unstable situation like the present, the problem are these inconsistent nominal contracts. And if you could inflate, then of course all debts become less in real value, and so the deflationary pressures would disappear. But it's inconsistent to say that, right? Because of course, if you can inflate, the deflation goes away. But it's almost impossible to pick an inflation rate and then carry it out.
After the brief description that I gave you of what Rogato is, and given that you're living in Italy and reading our newspaper, what do you think about what Rogato?
Well, now I'm intrigued, but on 10 minutes acquaintance, I have no deep thoughts about it.
Thank you so much, Professor.